Are we ready to go? Okay. Good evening, everyone. This is the August 16th, 2023 meeting of the Pontiac Historic District Commission, called to order. If you would go for the roll call, please.
Okay. Birch? Here. Porter?
Here.
Hank?
Here.
And David.
Here.
Okay.
Thank you.
We have quorum.
That's always good. Number 3, official communications. Is there anything from the planning department that we should know?
So as Corey emailed the HDC today, the staff working with an applicant has added something to tonight's agenda. We'll explain it when it comes on, but what we need to do under number 5 is amend the agenda to incorporate that because this has not been published out before. So.
Okay. Thank you. Minutes for review. Is there anything we should know on the minutes, Corey?
So there's actually 2 minutes. There's the July 19th and then also the June 21st minutes. So you'll need separate motions for both.
Yeah. Okay, so the first one is what? June?
You can actually come on in.
It's the June 21st.
Yeah, the June 21st. Why don't you just take a look if you we haven't done that yet.
And I would probably, I didn't notice this, 4 o'clock, not 6 o'clock. Oh, yeah.
In the first.
Yeah, it's really the first, right there. Uh-huh. Yes, okay, that's the June 21st. Let's just.
Do them separate?
Yeah, we'll do one at a time. That's what we're asked to do. So is there a
I'll make a
motion?
motion
A
to
motion.
approve.
Kathy, is there support for that motion?
Yes.
Linda, any discussion? Does it seem copacetic? It seems fine? Okay, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And any abstentions? So Corey, you have the vote of 4-0 on that. Let's just take
Got
a
it.
look. I'm sorry?
Sorry, just telling you I got it.
Okay, got it. Then the 19th of July. Yeah, was this the famous case that we had?
Correct.
Could you just share how that's going now? Would you be willing just briefly to say that?
Let's do that under staff communications at the end. If we
Okay,
can. Yeah.
okay, thank you.
Chair, we just noticed one thing at a staff level. This is a Scribner's error. At the top, it should say 4 p.m., not 6 p.m. And so with the approval, we would just like the consideration for that to be for the appropriate time.
This is so much detail. We're okay on it, okay. Please look over the July 19th.
You're saying the July time was 4, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
I can make a motion to approve.
Okay, have you all had a chance to look at it? And does it
Remember.
remind you of wonderful times? So, there's a motion from Kathy to support
I
this?
second.
And Linda is seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? 4-0. Thank you. Okay, we're back on the front page. Approval of the agenda. Okay, now, so Mark, there's some changes you want to make on the agenda. So restate that for us. Please.
Absolutely. So staff has been working with the applicant. We did not have the materials required. The applicant was able to provide to staff this week. And so it's listed on the agenda in front of you right now. It's HDC 23-027. Kyle Westberg is the applicant at 595 North Perry Street. And these are repairs and improvements for a property up in the GM Modern Housing District.
Okay, so that is a change in the agenda. Do we have to, We have to make a motion on that agenda?
Correct.
thing?
You have to make a motion.
Okay,
I'll make a
Okay.
motion to approve.
I'll second it. Okay. It's second, moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
The only thing that he wanted us to make sure that we said whoever made the motion.
Oh, I forgot about that.
For the,
Are you okay on that, Corey?
Yep, I got it.
Okay, yeah, we'll remember. Oh, yeah, sorry. Yeah, I lost this. Did we already vote on it?
Yeah.
We're okay?
Done.
We're okay. Did you get the vote for Zip?
Okay.
Okay. Now, approval of the agenda. Now, number 6, Historic District Review. What goes under that heading?
You can skip, that's just a carryover from the previous meeting.
Okay.
Now, is that always necessary?
Nope, I will take it off next
Yeah,
month.
So, let's streamline it as best we can. Unfinished business. Is there any unfinished business?
Nope, not at this time.
Should that always be on the agenda?
I think it's good.
Yeah,
Just-
absolutely.
Yeah.
If the HDC were to table something, this is also known as old business, or review something for a second time, that would come up under old business.
Okay, and now we're on number 8. The applicant is here, and our normal process is that the planning, the members of the planning committee office, they give their point of view on this, and then we hear what the individual has to say, and then we ask questions, and then we vote on it. And we follow the Department of Interior. There are 10 national goals that they have, the Department of Interior, for years, and we follow that to a T. So, please.
All right, one second.
We're doing fine. You're doing okay? Yeah, good.
All right, our first case tonight is for 196 Cherokee. This is for alterations and repairs to the exterior. This is the location. It's located in Seminole Hills. And the request, the applicant and homeowner, Fernando Bales, requests a certificate of appropriateness for repairs and exterior alterations at 196 Cherokee. The repairs are to the garage door and several windows, as well as the roof and flashing. While the work proposes new materials, the design appears consistent with the historic nature of the structure. The applicant has provided a brochure from the manufacturer and a rendering of the proposed repairs. This is Google Street View from September 13th of 2013, showing you the existing conditions or previous conditions. These are current conditions taken August 7th, 2023. And then this shows a breakdown of what their proposed changes are. So number 1, a new garage door. Number 2, new front windows. 3, repainting the existing railings. 4, a new front door. 5, repainting the brick. 6, replacement gutters. And 7, replacing the roof flashing. So the applicant is proposing some updated materials, but most of the design is going to remain consistent with the historic nature of the property. So some of the alterations from the historic condition is the new garage door. The proposed garage door is an insulated steel door in black in a horizontal plank style. The new doors will be fiberglass with storm doors and grills. Excuse me. And most windows will remain and simply be repaired or repainted, but the 2 angled windows on the second floor in the very middle will be replaced with windows with similar design. So these are the standards for approval. You've seen them all before, so I'm not going to read through them. You should be familiar with them at this point. Again, here is the proposed facade. And then our conclusion. So our findings, the proposed alterations weatherize the structure more securely while respecting the design integrity of the original structure. These repairs and alterations allow the structure to remain in use as a single-family residence for the foreseeable future and present a noticeable improvement to the existing condition of the site. The proposed alterations enhance the historic character of the building, and none of the alteration proposed will present a risk to the future integrity of the historic district as a whole. Therefore, staff's recommendation is approval of the repairs and exterior alterations proposed for 196 Cherokee with no conditions. And then here are sample motions. And that's it.
Any questions for the planning staff? Please.
So is it that window that's kind of angled that's going to be replaced? And what,
there in the middle.
yeah, what is it going to be replaced with? What kind of material?
I'm not sure the exact material. Their application just states that they'll be replacing it. So that might be something to ask the applicant.
Yeah, we will.
Okay, and it says repainting the brick. Has the brick been painted before?
I'm not sure.
Well,
Yeah. Okay.
could we have him ask him
Yeah.
questions?
So, yes, if you would identify yourself and go to the podium if you would. And
If you could do name and address, that would be helpful for the record.
My name is Fernando Bales, 96 Cherokee Road, Pontiac, 441.
yes, you heard some of the questions, so would you please fill out the rest of the discussion if you would?
Yes, absolutely. The two triangular windows, that currently is two single-pane steel framed windows. We intend to replace those with two individual fiberglass windows that will be installed typically for that condition.
Does the fiberglass meet your approval, gentlemen?
That's up to the board.
No, we have standards. Does that meet the standards?
So that will be changing the material, and it would not be preserving the historic material of the site. So it's up to the board. If the board feels that there's no cost-effective way to meet the historic material, then they can approve this. Otherwise, you should make a condition that they have to meet the historic material.
Did you do identification of other materials that you could use that would be consistent with the 10 standards?
Other material for windows?
For that, windows that we're discussing, that Kathy asked about?
Their windows come in various materials from wood to metal.
We know that.
As you can see, the cost for one individual window is $1,500, so it would be cost prohibitive for us to go with anything other than a fiberglass or vinyl.
Okay.
Fiberglass, in my opinion, is superior to vinyl, it's better insulation.
Yes.
Right now, it's metal?
It's a metal frame,
Metal
yes,
frame.
with individual single pane pieces of glass.
And-
Uninsulated.
What are the frames of the other windows?
They're all the same. They're all
All steel?
framed, original, single pane, uninsulated.
And the new windows that you're looking at putting in are the same basic design, though, right?
Correct, yep. You can see the actual window upper left. The grill pattern
Okay.
is similar, but yeah. That's the window itself.
Have we talked before? Are you an architect?
Not licensed, but yes.
Yeah, I thought, yes, I met you in the last couple of years. Yes, thank you.
So has the brick been painted prior?
Oh, sorry, I think that's a mistake. I don't recall stating that we're repainting any brick. We're not painting the brick at all.
Oh,
Oh, you're not painting the brick at all?
Nope,
Oh, okay.
not at all.
Okay.
Yeah, I personally see a problem with the windows because from the metal to this
yeah, I
fiber.
think fiberglass is one of the things that, it's one of the things that should be asked, but are you okay?
Yeah, okay. Well, we can.
You know,
Yeah.
it's the second week. now,
Sure,
second
sure we
month.
can. Yeah, so why don't you just share your
We'll
thoughts
do
here?
it
You don't
after.
have to,
We'll do it
you
after.
just huddle with me. Please share what your
No,
concern is.
we can do it after when we do comments.
Okay.
Okay.
Again, your point of view as staff in terms of the fiberglass is what?
We believe it's the most cost-effective way for them to proceed and weatherize the structure and maintain historic integrity. Again, it's up to the board. If you want to require the historic material, it would cost the applicant more, but that is your prerogative.
Is the metal rusted? Is it deteriorated?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
We have water, I mean, that's actually our main bathroom, there's water that's been leaking into the house.
Okay. Any further questions?
No.
So could we look at the motions here before us? Is there anything else you want to add as the applicant?
As the applicant and the homeowner, yeah, we're doing our best to preserve the nature of the house. As somebody who studied architecture and has lived in Pontiac for a long time, we adore this house, my wife and I.
Yes.
We want to do what we can to
Yes.
preserve it.
What year was it built?
Oh, jeez.
What year was it built, or the range of years?
1937 was the
It's
the
an
year.
interesting. It's classified as what? What kind of?
Art Deco, we think. It's not
Yes.
quite mid-century, but there is a similar home in Palmer Woods, a neighborhood in Detroit. We believe Louis Redstone is the architect. I'd love to dig into the records here in Pontiac to see if I can find anything more, but there's a very similar house in Palmer Woods that similar curvature, similar windows that go to the corner of the walls. But unfortunately, they put a sloped roof on top of that house, it looks like, after the fact, and it definitely changed the character. And I will add, too, the flat roof is quite particular for this region, this area, and that has been the sole crux of all the issues we've had with the home in terms of water leaking over the years. There's 2 downspouts to either side of the roof that were going to get replaced. And then the application also states a new roof in the fall. We hope we can, afford that, but that's really what needs to happen to make the house, livable
Now,
for a long
sometimes
time.
we piggyback, don't we? We piggyback the idea of what you're doing in the fall with this application.
Gotcha.
We could have done that.
Oh, understood, yeah. Well, the metal flashing that is stated is sort of foreshadowing the new roof, that obviously with new roof membrane, we have to redo the flashing at the parapet and the scuppers, and then the gutters and downspouts follow that.
Are the gutters and downspouts copper, or are they just?
No, they're Home Depot white, aluminum or metal, which we hope to replace again with a black, probably a square downspout. You don't see them necessarily from the street. But then around the front porch and the front balcony, there's a curved gutter that, again, would have to be custom fabricated for that curvature, but we hope to do that in black as well.
Any further, from your point of view, any further that you want to add before we have a discussion here at the table?
No?
Mark?
I would just say about fiberglass, if any HDC members want some quick history, it is a newer material, but it is a little bit more accepted in historic districts. It has a little bit more of a matte finish, as opposed to that plastic look that vinyl has. Corey and I are obviously new here, so we don't know the history of installation within these historic districts, but it is an option to consider.
But you're both comfortable with it. Okay, well, let's have some discussion among our members here. Kathy, please.
So I'm wondering, how do we deal with this painting, the number 5, brick repainting? Can we take it off? Do we have to amend something, or can we just say whatever?
No, I think as part of the motion, it'll cover the application. It should be fine if they're not painting it. Maybe as a condition of your motion, you would say not including repainting of the brick.
And then can we add the roof?
I'm going to defer to Mark on that one.
So, and I apologize, I may need a recap of what with the roof is it being replaced?
Could the applicant repeat what is being proposed with the roof?
Yes, the roof is being proposed to be replaced this fall.
But you can't see can you?
You cannot see the roof
Yeah.
membrane, no. All you see is the flashing.
And I think for that reason, I don't know that it requires the same level historic review. We'll obviously work with the applicant through that to get the final material. But
Well, I
I,
guess I just didn't want them to have to come back and just.
Correct.
Pay a second time.
correct.
We could probably do it administrative.
Yep, yep.
Yeah, okay. Okay, well, any further discussion? Ken,
I'll make a motion to approve.
let's see the motions, please.
Oh, sorry. There you
I
go.
would make a motion to approve case HDC 23033 to repair and alter the exterior of 196 Cherokee with the amendment of taking off number 5, the brick repainting, since he's not going to be repainting the home, and to approve the motion as presented.
Can you repeat that into the microphone and turn the
Yep.
mic on?
You gotta turn it on.
I'll make a motion to
Can't-
approve.
Well, can you
Kenny,
turn-
it on, underneath.
Oh, you have
Oh,
to
there
push.
you go.
Okay. I make a motion to approve case HDC 23033 to repair and alter the exterior of 196 Cherokee as presented with the caveat that number 5, brick repainting, is eliminated and because the homeowner has indicated that he does not intend to repaint the home. And I would also like to add to that the roof could be repaired as the homeowner requested, if it can be administratively approved. Can we do that with this?
I think
So-
that's true regardless of if it's in the motion, but
Well, what I was concerned about is that the homeowner doesn't have to come back, pay again for another application, since we've already basically decided here that he can do that.
That's been our modus operandi.
Is that okay to do that?
I think the motion's okay in the applicant. I think the motion's okay, and the applicant can just get us the roof material to include within this application, even though it's not presented tonight.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Is there support for that motion that Ken has given?
I will support.
Okay. Now, let's have further discussion. Linda, any points of view that has not been raised from your point of view?
No, I'm good.
Kathy, from
No,
your
good.
point of view?
Good.
Ken, okay. So you're asking me to repeat everything that Ken said?
No,
hope
no,
not.
I got it.
he got it. He got it. We just have to vote.
Yeah, we'll just, so we're looking at the first approval of the motion to approve HDC 23-033 to repair and alter the exterior of 196 Cherokee, et cetera, et cetera. All in favor, indicate by saying aye.
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 Any opposed, indicate, and any abstentions. So, are you okay on this? You're okay as presented? Yes. Okay.
So, Mr. Bales, it's approved, and we will be in touch. I'd say give us a call about the roof, and we will get the certificate of appropriateness from there, and then you'll start with the building process to get those approvals, so.
I've
Understood.
driven by your home so many times, and it always looks so unique.
It needs a lot of work, but yeah,
How many years again have you lived there?
Since 2014,
2014?
yep,
Yeah, and it was built again in what year?
1937.
1937, yeah.
Well, thank you very much.
Yes,
Thank
thank
you.
you very
Take
much.
care.
We wish you the best. Okay, and now we're ready to go to Kyle's request.
That looks sharp.
All right, so our second application today is 595 North Perry for repair and improvements to the existing structure. This is the location map. It is off of Perry, north of Glenwood. So the request, the applicant, Kyle Westberg, on behalf of West Construction Services, requests a certificate of appropriateness for repairs and exterior alterations at 595 North Perry. The work proposed is to replace the roof, repair the windows and doors, clean up the siding, and paint. The applicant has provided supplemental information from the manufacturer for the windows, roof, and door. These were provided by the applicant and give you an idea of the existing conditions.
We did the tour of that, both,
Yes.
there were three,
We did.
we did.
No.
No, we walked with Jill among all three of them, right?
That's correct. So there's 3 sites that the county is interested in. You've already seen 75 Oliver, I believe, and approved the demolition. This is the next one coming forward. And this one we're hoping to recover and repair and save, along with 79 Oliver, which you'll be seeing eventually. So this gives you an idea of the major changes being proposed. So on the top left there is the new proposed front door. It's 36 inches by 80 inches, and it's fiberglass. They're proposing asphalt shingles to fill in any holes, but the primary focus will be on repairing existing shingles over replacements. And then at the bottom there is the proposed front facade will have a higher quality Pella windows that are wood with an aluminum clad. So I kind of went over most of this, but just in more detail, there are alterations being proposed. The major one is repairing of the roof, the replacement of the windows, replacement of the door, and then in general, just cleaning up the siding and trying to make it look better. They're going to be using a paint color very similar to what the existing site is. Then again are the standards of approval, and then staff's conclusions. The proposed alterations will rehabilitate the structure while respecting its design integrity. The proposed alterations enhance the historic character of the building, and none of the alterations proposed will present a risk to the future integrity of the historic district as a whole. So with that, and looking at our historic standards, it is our recommendation to approve the repairs and exterior alterations at 595 North Perry without conditions. Are there any questions?
No, so Kyle, if you would go to the podium and if you would offer additional information.
So as you see, the structure has been vacant and blighted for, I don't even know how many years, at least 10, if not more. We're working with the county. The county asked us to try to save this one and the one on Oliver as well. 2 on Oliver, but 75 Oliver, as we already know, was not savable. The roof was falling into the structure, and it was unfortunate. And 79 Oliver is savable, and then obviously the one here on Perry. So the intention, you can't see from the photos, but the roof on this, not the porch roof, but the top roof, is slate. And there is some damage to the slate and some holes in the slate. So we do have a subcontractor who has a little experience in working with slate. So our intention is to repair the slate and leave it as is. However, if we can't do that, unfortunately, we might have to remove it, and then we'll put the weathered wood, which is a dimensional. You guys have seen that probably, the Certainty landmark shingle. Pros and cons, you don't really, the only time you see this roof is across the street from Perry. You got to get to the other side of the street to really see this because it's such a small slope on it. But that's our intention. Otherwise, other than that, you can see it's got a shake siding detail too. There's upper floor, and then I always say drive it, but it's not the right word, for the lower section of it. So our intention is just to repair all that, and then we'll repaint and we'll paint it. The windows are all gone. There is some parts of upper sashes and lower sashes, but nothing that is repairable. And clearly, 100 years old, they're not energy efficient at all. So typically in historic preservation, the front elevation windows are always the most critical ones, and this is where the conversation with me and staff has been going on for a while and trying to figure that solution out. Pella is the brand we're using. I think we're going to go with the Pella brand, which is the Reserve. Pella has a vinyl window that has got decent styles and sash sizes on it. I have it in my car. I was going to bring it in because they're just really, they're not, the size of them isn't what I was hoping they were to be. I mean, Kathy, you know my building on Saginaw. You know how deep those are. And that's what, here, I'll show you this. I can take it up with them. Look, I'm going to point to it. Sure, absolutely. Sure. And then, so this is the Reserve one. This is actually a casement window, not a single hung or double hung, which we'll do the single hung style, so that's what's in this. So the bottom of the single hung, unfortunately, I just got this like at 4:30 today, it is a little bit higher. This style, that's about the right size, and they designed it to go straight down. So this is actually very authentic. Pella, this is one of the only products in the marketplace that is more of a true, authentic, historical element. It is aluminum clad and it is wood. It's, obviously double pane, energy efficient. The muttons on it, I'm still looking at exactly what we're going to do there because one of the houses only had the mutton bars on the upper sash, and the other one had, I think, maybe on both, and then it was on different elevations. It's hard to really figure that out. So we're, at least on the front elevation, we're going to try to be as authentic as we can, if it's either the upper sash or both. I don't know the answer to that. And then color, you saw by the elevation, I think they had a white trim. It's probably what we're going to do is stay in that color palette is the white trim, and then I'll So the idea is to do the fronts in those, because that's clearly it's a very expensive window, but we'll get the front elevation looking really sharp with that, and then the sides and the rears we'll do a vinyl window, but it'll be a Pella, still with more beefy. The gentleman in the fiberglass, it's a great product as well. Pella, they do have a fiberglass brand or product that we might take a look at for the vinyl sides and rear, because the nice thing about the fiberglass, they don't expand and contract as much. So I think for the future homeowner, I think there's some positive to that. And that's what we're looking at too. Oh, by the way, maybe I didn't say this. These are going to be sold. So the county has given us a grant dollars to rehab these. We're going to finish the rehab interior, exterior, and then they're going to be sold to a family to help reinvest in that neighborhood. So we're excited about that. Thanks, Ken.
So Kyle, the one that, is it 75 that we ordered down? Said for demolition? Does
Correct.
that have a slate roof on it? Could you steal some?
I don't know, Kathy. I'd have to look at it. I know 79 doesn't. We've actually already started re-roofing 79 because we're getting more decay, so we need to get that up there. And we use that weatherwood certainty dimensional shingle. I have a picture. I should have brought it. It looks beautiful. It's turned out really nice. But yeah, that's a good question. I'll look at that because Jill said it's going to be demolished in, I don't know, you guys heard 2 or 3 weeks. I mean, it's on the schedule to get done. So, and that property is going to be deeded to 79.
Right, nice.
And that's beautiful because there's no reason to build another house in there. The density isn't necessary. So I think that property owner will, and it's already got a driveway that 79 can use. So I'm excited about that.
Nice.
And then the door design, it is a craftsman style design. It doesn't necessarily go to the neighborhood, but I think to some level it works. I love, it's fiberglass, it's insulated, it's got an architectural element to it. There's some security to it and that type of thing. So I thought that was a good element. I mean, you go up and down, I'm thinking more of Oliver Street in my head. It's a mismatch. You guys know probably the street pretty well. What's our friend's name? Dean. Dean has been working hard over there to help that neighborhood come back and doing a lot of effort over there. So there's, so I thought that felt good architecturally for it. The color palette, Corey, I did give you some color ideas that I found on the Sherwin-Williams site. Mm-hmm. We're going to be dramatic. Yeah. So if you go up Oliver, actually on Perry, there's a couple houses. There's a purple house, there's a really deep blue one. There's some really beautiful colors that some of the homeowners have put in over the last few years to really help that neighborhood come back. So I want to be really dramatic with that.
Kyle, if you don't mind me asking, is there a company that you guys use to put the windows that you purchase the windows from that'll put in the windows for you, or do you guys do them yourself? It's just for my own. I'm rehabbing an older house.
Well, if you need a window guy, just give me a call. I'll find. So one of our partners on it, he actually is he's a carpentry company, and they do window replacements. That's one of the things they do. Okay. So he's a partner with us on this. But we're buying the windows directly from Pella,
right.
And then he's already given the measurements on what we have to buy. So we'll do that. But if you need some help, Ken, just I'll find somebody to give you a hand with that. Yeah. Cool. I don't know anything, Corey. Anything else on the exterior that I'm missing?
No, I think that's it. So I did provide the color samples in your packet. However, color is outside the purview of the commission, but just for your interest.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
So Kyle, on the where back of it, is this, what is that piece? What is that?
I don't, Corey, did you do any rear pictures on the presentation?
Yeah, it's on there. On your.
What page?
It's, 5.
Five.
It's like a added-on little vestibule or something. Right.
Sorry.
Corey,
So,
I'm just wondering what, if you're gonna leave it or
Well,
try
we're
and
leaving
fix
it.
that?
Did you go by those
Reluctantly
houses?
leaving
I don't
it.
know. Did you go by those houses that day?
No.
No, no.
Yeah, that's the picture. Yeah. I don't, did you have that up here?
Yeah, it's up there.
I
Yeah,
don't know if you did or not. I don't remember seeing it.
yeah, I saw it.
Go back. Nope.
There.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, there you go. Yeah, so on the right, what Kathy's referencing is, I'm sorry, Commissioner Hank. That was clearly, I know. I'm sorry, Kathy, that's good. So it was clearly an addition done. There's actually a door on the left side of it, so we think that was how they put a rear door on it. The space is odd. We don't know what was in it. It's not like a bathroom or laundry room or anything. It was just as weird. And both the houses, this is Perry, Oliver has the same thing. Oliver's design is mirrored. Perry has a bump out on the right side of it, on the back. You can kind of see it in the front picture there. But they both have that. So what we're doing is we're going to clean up the foundation, make sure that it's stable, reframe and clean that all up. And I was just working on the designs today. That's going to be a powder room on the first floor. So we're adding, because it's only got one bathroom on the upstairs, so we want to add a powder room on the first floor on both the units. So it'll really help with marketability.
Yeah, exactly. Is that, what is it, a 3-bedroom? 3?
Perry is a 2-bedroom and Oliver's a 3-bedroom. But I have to, the Oliver unit, it was, the design was really weird. And so I relayed that second floor design out a little bit to clean those up. They're gonna be a little bit smaller, narrow bedrooms, but we'll have decent sized primary bedroom with just a bath for all 3 units or 3 bedrooms. But on Perry, it's 2-bedroom, which I prefer a 3-bedroom. You know, it's better for families. But I'm also looking at this as kind of a starter home
Right.
opportunity. So, but the 2 bedrooms upstairs are, oh man, they're like 12 by 15. They're really good size.
Wow.
Yeah.
Cool.
If I can add 2 things on this project. Number one, there is a rehab agreement with the city, just like the one at 39 Ivy we saw earlier this year. Don't quote me on the date, but I believe it's like the end of December
It
is
is.
when the deadline is. The second thing is also just to really celebrate the fact that Kyle and the county and the grant money that's available, because, you know, you guys we've seen demolitions to these type of properties in GM Modern Housing and other historic neighborhoods. And so this is probably one of the larger rehab projects that I think this neighborhood has seen. So
Yeah,
I just
forgot.
wanted to
How many
state that.
dollars are generated for that land bank, for these houses from the land bank?
The grant, the land bank got a grant from the state,
Yeah.
and I think it's part of the ARPA funds.
Yeah.
They have $100,000 per building. It's stabilization, they call it stabilization dollars, which is, you know, so the exterior, basically make it look like a house again.
Yes.
And then we have to put in the rest ourselves, and then whatever we sell it for is what
Do
we
you have
hopefully
an
make.
anticipated sale price for a house like this?
Well, what I think it should go for and what it's going to go for are 2 different things. Let me start with there. I think it should be a $150,000 house. I think maybe we might be 130, 135. The district is showing some pretty decent improvements. And if you think about housing today, in today's market, to buy, really it'll be a brand new house when it's all done, because it's all new mechanicals inside, all new drywall. I mean, everything's brand new inside. I think the buyer is going to get great value. So Jill's piloting this idea, and if it goes well, then she's going to try to find some other units here in Pontiac to do some more.
She's a Pontiac focus
I've been
group.
barking about this for 10 years. I don't like, when you spend $20,000 on demolition in a house that can be repaired, you put that $20,000 towards repair, maybe you got to get another $30,000 or $40,000 or whatever it is. This is years ago. Today it's a little bit more. I think they're rehabable, especially the historic district ones. It's just dry, Kathy, you and I, we've had numerous conversations about this, and so I'm really excited. Jill had to convince me to do this. It's like a
When you
hobby
parachute-
project for me.
When you parachute down to modern historic district on a 10-point scale, where is it on a 10? 10 being like nirvana. Is it,
Yeah, what's the
is it
scale?
above a 5? Just overall. Just how
You
would
mean
look
in
at
where
that?
it stands stability-wise
Yeah,
right now?
just, what's your
I
point
would,
of
I
view?
would actually probably push it towards a 7 stability-wise.
That high?
Yeah, because there's really, the vacancy and the despair is really the county units are really the 5 or 6 or 7 that are still outstanding. The problem is Pontiac has, in a lot of their single-family residential, is too many tenants and not property owners. You need rental properties. Every city needs them, but most rental properties are multifamily housing, like my Lost project. That's more of what should be, and not condensed poverty at all. I'm sorry, I'm getting a soapbox here, Rick,
No,
but I'm
that's
kind of answering your question. I think as if we can start getting more home ownership in that neighborhood, like your guys' neighborhood is doing, and like this gentleman is doing there, that's where you're gonna start seeing the value come back. And Dean has done, I mean, he's been busting his butt for 10 years over there, really working that towards, and I know their association is really working on. And if you look on Oliver, that's a great example. If you go on the east end of Oliver, you have a lot of property owners down there, and that section is in really good shape. You have a couple houses that need to be cleaned up. But on the west side, which this is at, these two, well, this is Perry, I'm sorry, I'm talking Oliver again. But on Oliver, the decay of those 3 or 4 houses you could see it kind of spill over. But when you start getting the positive homeowner investment, then the neighbor is like, okay, I got to do something here. Or even the investor that owns that is like, oh, I can sell this and make money to a homeowner.
I think all of Oliver is not part of the modern historic district, I think.
I don't know, I
It
think
is.
it is.
You think it is?
It's only 2 blocks, 3 blocks long. It's not very long.
Okay, okay. Well, further questions for the applicant? Then may we see, Corey, the motions?
I have-
Again, restate,
I have a
yes, please, Linda.
I was wondering, do you have original picture of what the stairs look like?
No, we don't. I haven't done, frankly, I haven't done any research to see if there is something out there. The actual stairs on Perry we removed because they were unsafe. We actually just had the conversation with Mark today. On Oliver, what I'm trying to get from you guys today is you guys are comfortable with the windows that we're picking, because we have to order them. So we're going to order from Oliver as well. I'm taking a little risk there, but we'll come back for you guys to take, to approve the Oliver site. But on Oliver, the front porch is really a mess, and we have to rebuild and redesign that. And then I was just talking to Mark about that today. Of what does that look like? I don't even know. I'm going to do some research on the street, see what's kind of going on out there. I did notice on Oliver, on the east end, there are a couple of property owners. They did a really cool white rail system and rail on the fronts of the porches. All 3 houses in a row. Historically, it's probably not accurate, but aesthetically, it pops. It really looks pretty. I'm not saying that's where we're going to go, but we have to do another research. So on Perry, the stairs is pretty simple. We just need to do a rail on it. But I don't know. We want to do something that's maintenance-free as we possibly can be, because that's one of the problems you run in these things is people keep it up. The maintenance is hard. Fortunately, with technology, there's a lot of products, like he was talking about the fiberglass window, there's a lot of products that are built today that are, the maintenance on them is low, but the aesthetics is really strong. And there's a lot of color ideas and stuff. But in regards to what it's going to look like, I don't have an idea yet. I have to do some research on that.
Thank you very much. Again, the position of the planning department is restated for us.
Due to the findings we have up above, we believe that this is bringing the structure into closer conformity with its historic character. It's going to allow it to continue to be used for its historic use. And so we recommend approval of the repairs and exterior alterations proposed for 595 North Perry.
Any further discussion among commission members? So we have three opportunities here. Is there a motion one way or the other?
I'd make a motion to approve it as presented.
And I'll approve,
And a
second that.
support from Kathy. Any further discussion? Okay, then we have a motion in front of us to approve case HDC 23-033.
That's Cherokee.
Yeah, it's 595 North Perry is the address.
Oh, I'm sorry.
027.
Okay, yeah, I'm sorry. But all in favor, indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? So Corey, you have all the names and we're okay on this?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Let's go.
Good to see you too. I will. Okay, you're on.
Don't bribe the commission, please.
Okay, so we have further business here. There's no public comment, I don't think. Thank you. And no staff communications. What do you have in mind there?
So my first is an update on last month's case, 130 Chippewa. So if you recall, this was the case where the applicant had installed the incorrect material. The board had actually declined or made a motion to deny that application. So the applicant has proceeded with removing that siding. He has met with our building official, Rafael LaFleur. We have determined exactly what material is the historically appropriate material. The applicant has found a distributor who can provide it. He has submitted samples confirming that the materials are consistent.
Wood samples, correct?
Yes, wood samples. And so the only step left is, and I talked to him about this today on the phone, is he has to actually submit a new application. So
Come back.
he won't have to come back to HTC since it's same for same, and we've confirmed as such. We can approve it administratively. He still has to fill out, though, the new form. And so we're just waiting for him to do that, and it's a new fee.
See, that was easy, wasn't it?
That was what?
Yeah, didn't we have some discussion? He bought this house for like 55,000? Didn't that comes to mind?
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Doesn't matter, we did our job.
We did our job, but I mean, with the housing opportunities here in that area, he could do quite well with the proper stuff. Okay, well, thank you very much. Is
So
there
I
any-
have some communications, if I may, Chair.
Oh, sure.
I didn't get a chance to correct Kyle, but Dane Thomas.
Yeah, Des Day.
I did want to point out that he did win one of the mayor's Unsung Heroes Awards at the State of the City this year. So just for the work that he's doing to that neighborhood and all that was definitely recognized. I wanted to share with you guys that the mayor recently interviewed 6 people for these remaining positions. Now, as part of this, and I want to double check this, my records state that you guys have not been appointed or reappointed since 2013. Does that sound correct?
No.
I think I've been reappointed.
Pretty
since-
close.
I
I think I was reappointed
No.
when Mayor Waterman, before she left.
Yeah, she
I think we
reapproved
were.
us, yeah, I remember
So
that.
you're
Yeah,
thinking
that's
maybe in 2021,
Yeah.
Yes.
around there? Okay. Okay.
Well,
I
you wanna
don't,
Kick us off?
I mean, and I think that is a question, though. I mean, are the 4 of you happy being on this board? Because I know that we've been relying on you so much. So really, that is a question. So
Yeah, I just want to make sure the downtown's represented. That's why I'm here, because
Okay.
now that I've got embroiled in all the other districts too, I'm happy about that.
the mayor has been busy with obviously the Phoenix Center, which I'll talk about in a second, and obviously Roadkill Nights and Dream Cruise. But hopefully next week, I'm anticipating these appointments next couple weeks. So.
Are they people that we can use? Sorry, I just have to ask.
Does it go to the city council then?
No, this is not something that needs to go to city council. This is a mayor appointment only,
Okay,
so.
okay.
I'm very happy and would be happy with any of the members we
Okay,
interviewed,
good.
actually,
We're
so.
hoping that we have some, I hope somebody came from Modern Housing.
For sure, we
Like, we're
need
really
people that are
hoping that-
savvy about
Yeah.
building materials.
Yep,
Well, we were hoping we could get a rep from each
yeah,
Yeah, that was a goal too.
district.
district, so.
Did not happen.
So I am going to continue.
big no.
I did want to point out, the Phoenix Center, if you have not heard, The city and county have come to an agreement. The county has gotten a bunch of grant money. The county will be taking ownership of the towers. And then the Phoenix Center and the parking lot really will be demolished. There will be some kind of parking. I imagine there's going to be a parking structure, but we'll find out about that. The planning department is really not involved in these conversations. This is, high-level administration. But I think as these plans start to come into place, we are going to get more involved, and I think this is going to be a wonderful opportunity in the downtown.
So what's going to be demolished? Excuse me.
The Phoenix Center and the parking garage below. Now, I'm not saying 100% of that existing parking garage is getting demolished, but I at least the city's portion of it is.
So what would replace the Phoenix Center?
I mean, Saginaw is likely to be connected.
Going through?
And as part of this deal, the acreage of the amphitheater, not the entire Phoenix Center, but the amphitheater is about 2 acres. And the city will be receiving 2 acres for a public park. So that'll be more ground level. And so that's really, not underground, but just ground
No, but
level.
Downtown.
Downtown,
Right there?
it'll be in that
Oh,
general
yay.
vicinity.
Yay.
We don't know the exact location at this point, so.
It seems to me, I just read that there is going to be some sort of an amphitheater.
No.
So-
The intention is to have a park, not necessarily an amphitheater. So now, could there be a small stage? Absolutely, but not of the proportions that there is now, so.
And so are they buying that parking lot from what's his name?
Lot 9 is
Yeah.
not included in,
No,
the really not involved in what's been between the county and city at the moment.
So what parking lot are you talking about?
This is the parking garage,
The garage.
Oh.
yeah.
Yeah.
So.
The garage itself.
But I just wanted to share, there's been a lot of work done by the county and also by our administration and city council to get that done. And they should be
Yeah.
commended because I think it really is going to give a lot of opportunity and also bring a lot of workforce downtown.
Do you have a sense of what departments from the county might come?
I don't. I've heard rumors, but they're just that. They're rumors.
That they
So,
might come to the towers?
yeah, there will be county offices,
They're saying
approximately 400 to 600
400
jobs
Oh,
that'll be
wow,
coming
that's
down here.
fantastic.
Well, they've done a nice paint job on the one side of it, and I noticed the other day that they've landscaped the whole front.
Absolutely.
Oh my God, I'm like, oh my God, there's landscaping and there's flowers there.
Is there a chance, Mark, is there a chance, is this actually gonna happen? Is there a chance?
It's done.
Is it a done thing? I mean, I heard.
There's a press
that-
conference tomorrow.
Yeah,
Huh?
it's done.
There's a press conference tomorrow.
Okay, that is wonderful. Because I heard that
It's
there was not
exciting.
a single Republican commissioner that voted to support it. And so I was just thinking myself, what
That's 'cause
happens if a
we're-
new county exec gets in there and all that kind of stuff, with that.
But that's the thing about government, and that's the thing is trust. And obviously there's some trust to move forward with this. And part of the trust, I think, in my job as a planning manager is the master plan, and that's the next thing I want to bring up. I've presented to Planning Commission and to City Council. I'm working through an RFP, excuse me, setting that up, and we hope to get the bidding process in the next month. We are working with MEDC, Michigan Economic Development Corporation, to review our RFP. We're trying to engage with partners. We are going to try to get some assistance to go along with this. We're not doing this solo. The last master plan was in 2014. I know, and that wasn't even really planning based. There were recommendations, 4 for planning, 8 for economic development, 20 for parks and open space. Now, after emergency management, there was some good analysis that went into it, but the recommendations, maybe just because the city's resources were not there, it was definitely a challenge. So we have a plan of attack. We are going to definitely try to incorporate historic district conversations into the master plan. But we're finalizing that, and we'll share that with you as it goes along.
The master plan is designed, what is the mission of the master plan?
Well, a master plan for a city is a comprehensive plan to set the long-term vision. It could be 20, 30 years of what the current conditions are, what the city's values are. And when I say city, it's not just your leaders. We want to survey. We want to have public engagement. We want to hear from the entire community. And it's setting together some goals, objectives, and strategies to achieve that. And some of those things are very high level. Some of those things are very specific, but it's outlining a plan. And we're not going to tackle everything we need to in a strategic plan with this upcoming master plan, but we are going to dig in and we're going to focus on 7 or 8 different key items. And let's start the basis for this, because we can always add on sub-area plans. We can always add on a downtown master plan process in the future, but we want to lay a foundation. We already have a Parks Master Plan that we're going to reference. We don't have to make that part of this analysis. We are all 2 other concurrent things is Deborah Younger, our Economic Development Manager, is starting a bidding process right now for a housing master plan, a housing study. And then our Public Works Department is also working on a roads master plan. So those things will not necessarily be the primary things discussed as part of the master plan process, but it's important to reference the work that's being done in there and really to tie together the objectives, because it's important for the community to know what direction this city organization's going, what its goals and priorities are, and what help to move forward. So.
Thank you for sharing.
The last thing I wanted to mention is that Corey Christensen, I have to give him a lot of credit with working with applicants and working with you guys. We are creating an HDC checklist. It sort of got published for the first time today. It really isn't changing the narrative of what anyone has to go through, but it's really giving some clear direction. It'll be on the top page of an application as to what is expected when you apply for something. Now, if it's same for same, we may not need everything on that list, but for everything that's coming before you guys, it is really setting the expectation of what needs to be submitted for proper review. So I want to give Corey credit for creating that list. And we will share that with you next month just under communications, and we'll pass it out to you. But it's also used for our staff. So when Carla Cade at the front office is in taking an application, she can also check off to see if anything is missing from that submittal requirement. And we're going to be doing that with other applications. We actually started with the HDC application process.
Yeah,
But,
that's great.
My hope has been, we're always reacting. You've heard me say this,
Yep.
Mark. We react to the presentation. We never are proactive.
Yep.
Going to the districts and explaining where they have historic areas and, with the city council member and share with the people and maybe, what needs to be done and all that kind of stuff and what the requirements are and
Yep.
how we might. So, I want to go both sides of the coin.
Yep.
We've been doing so much reacting, and we've got to do some much more proactive. But that means staff have to do more, and we have to do more. Yeah.
And I have one more thing, because I never am finished, it seems like. I really appreciated getting to walk with you and Corey through GM Modern Housing, and we are going to get to other neighborhoods. Something I want to do over the next 3 months, and I think it's getting our new members in place and getting the right connections. I have a few different people in mind, so I'm not sure what direction we'll go, but I think we're going to have either an architect or historian do some historical training for us. So I think let's get these appointments first. Let's see what the agenda has, and we'll schedule that appropriately.
When will the new appointments come about?
I'm hoping in the next month, but that's the mayor's choice, and part of it's just making sure that he can. He's got a lot of confidence in a lot of people. He's got some decisions to make. So,
So that, I was gonna ask that, because I think the county, wasn't it the county that came and gave us that training?
yeah. They have an architect on staff, and that's one of the people that I'm considering bringing back as
'Cause
well.
new people are gonna need it, because they're just gonna come
Absolutely.
in here blind.
Yep.
So, can I, tell you that I've been getting some, feedback from neighbors about a house on, hold on, where is it? 565 West Iroquois, across from Jerry Beats. He's not the one that told me, but, they just put some god-awful siding on it, some god-awful trim around the windows, some god-awful fence. I mean, people are complaining, so I'll just throw it out there.
Okay.
I'll do my job and give it to
Okay.
you.
That's great. Okay,
Sorry.
well then.
You said siding, trim, and what else? Fence?
There's like a fence off one side that matches the trim around the windows.
And we're going to reach out to our code enforcement team in the morning. I would say to the HTC members, to the public, that you're more than welcome to call our code enforcement team. We have 11 right now. We're soon to have 14 or 15. Some of them, we're going to be hiring some part-time, but you can reach out to them directly. You don't have to go through Corey and I.
Okay.
If you're noticing something, I think the quicker you can get to code enforcement, the better it is, just to streamline that process.
Have that number off the top of your head?
No, but we can send it out.
Okay, yeah, email it out.
We'll do
And
that.
it's still a good idea to CC us in, just because if the issue is also that they don't have their historic permits on top of their building permits or what else,
Right.
at least we can monitor the situation.
Yeah. And for the public, we will get the number for code enforcement, but there is a number that just came out called 1-800-YAK-TOWN. So, and during business hours, 99% of the time, you're going to get someone to answer the phone or call you back within a very short amount of time. So that doesn't preclude the existing city numbers, but if you need to, it's just an easy moniker to share with people. And it is meant to be a customer service line. You maybe if you don't know what department, to reach somebody and they'll help you. So.
Excellent. Well, then, that's number 10, staff communication. Thank you very much. And now it looks like number 11, and guess what that means? Is there a motion to adjourn?
I make a motion to adjourn.
Is there support for
I
that
will
motion?
support that
Kathy?
motion.
All in
Yes.
favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Nay. Any abstentions? Goodbye.
German means party in Old English.
So Mark, since we're off the record, is the mayor thinking?
Well, your mic's still on, so it's still on the record.
No, we adjourn.
Are we,
Or do you think they could place my name sometime?
Yeah.
are we all going to be on the, or do we know yet, or how is it?
The mayor asked me what the previous appointments were, that's all I know.
Yeah, so there's 2021.
And I interviewed with the planning, so just to share with you, I interviewed with the planning commission members, but I had nothing to do with the appointments, and I didn't know.